Good to go.
Alright, so it's like we're alternating between technical and non-technical, but mine's definitely non-technical. And so the topic of my presentation is Renegade Diet X. So basically, the original Renegade diet was developed by a guy named Jason Ferrugia about 10 years ago. He's a world-renowned fitness expert. And so after a lot of trial and error myself, I added my own twist to it, like added things that actually worked for me, gave me results, and hence put the X to the name, Renegade Diet X. All right, so there's tons of diet plans and workout programs out there available. Some will ask you to drink different shakes all day, some will ask you to cut out carbs altogether. The problem with those programs is that they're not sustainable. Hence, a lot of people fall off the wagon within the first few weeks and just quit. So that's the beauty of this program. Like, it does not ask you to cut out your favorite foods, but rather it teaches you how to optimally consume those foods to give you the best results possible. And as you can see, I was able to completely transform myself within just a span of 7 weeks. All right, let's get started. So there's a lot of myths out there, like carbs are bad for you, fats are bad for you. What actually is bad is how and when you consume them. So that's one great thing about this program, that it teaches you how to rotate those macros to help you achieve your goals. So this program is divided into 2 phases. One is the prep phase, and the next is the maintenance. Okay, so prep phase. So the first 24 hours into this diet are complete starvation, fasting. All you'll be doing is just drinking water. It sounds hard, but it's actually a lot easier than you think. And so because of the time limitation, I won't be able to get into a lot of detail about the science behind it. But basically, after a certain period of starvation, your brain releases ketones into the body. So what ketones do is force your body into ketosis, where it is forced to use the stored fat for fuel. And that's what actually carbs do. The only purpose of carbs is to give you energy. But when you don't use that energy, it gets stored as fat. And when you have a lot of energy stored, why do you need to consume more? So that's basically the science behind it. And so for the next 5 days, you won't be consuming any carbs. The only carbs allowed are your vegetables. And so mostly you'll be only consuming foods that are high in protein and fats. So the good thing is you don't need to give up your steak, you don't need to give up your bacon. And so for the next, and also to get the best result out of this program, it's highly recommended that you indulge in some form of weight training for at least 3 times a week. Also, the reason for zero carbs is that when you're coming off ketosis and you just consume fat and protein, your body is primed to just consume fat as a source of energy. And so the fat and protein will help you maintain muscle mass and at the same time burn fat. And so after the period of 6 days, that's the maintenance phase. That's the important phase, where you continue fasting, but it's somewhere between 12 to 16 hours. 12 is the minimum, which is required. And so you'll have a feeding window of around 8 to 12 hours. And again, you continue working out for at least 3 times a week. And this is the important thing. The carbs should only be consumed post-workout. Now, it's got to do with the insulin response of the body. Won't be able to get into a lot of detail about that. But the good thing is these can be any form of carbs. You can have pizzas, you can have burgers, you can have desserts, as long as they're consumed post-workout and with high protein meal as well. All right, so concluding, if you've been thinking about getting fit for a while, don't wait for the next New Year's Day. Instead, just get on this diet and become a new, healthier you by the next New Year's Day. Thank you. For more info, follow me on Instagram. I'm Salvation.
Sign up here.